Hey guys, Mike Thurston here, and this is the first episode of the new series which I'm going to be doing, where I go across different muscle groups and talk about some of the most common mistakes which are made. Now today we're going to start off with chest, and I'm basically going to go through the biggest mistakes which I see not only regular people in the gym doing, but a lot of my clients who come and see me for the very first time. More often than not, it's the same things which keep cropping up again and again and again, which prevents you from having that full 3D chest which most guys are looking for. So, start off with the bench press. So I'm going to start off by saying the first thing that people do wrong is they try and lift way too heavy than they can actually lift. Okay, everyone wants to be seen pressing as heavy as they possibly can in the gym, especially if they're with their mates or if they're just trying to press people around them. If you're not able to engage your chest using heavier weights, you need to drop the weight. Okay, it's as simple as that. Start off, shoulders are pushed way too far forward. The first thing you need to do when the dumbbells are above your head is retract your shoulders. Try and almost push your chest out, but try and get your shoulder blades to meet behind your back. Already, I'm in a strong position to press. Now, you want to begin to come down, keep your hands above your elbows at all times, come all the way down till you feel a good stretch in your chest, then press back up and squeeze your chest at the top. One thing you also need to bear in mind is which direction you're actually pushing the dumbbells. So say for example, I'm at the bottom of the rep, and then I begin to push up, and the dumbbells are actually relatively above my head. I don't get that much pectoral stimulation, it's more my front delt. Whereas if I come down and I press directly above my chest, it's much easier to actually keep my shoulders back and to get that squeeze at the top of the movement. Sometimes I might even press slightly forward. So, it's not too much of an angle where gravity is going to cause me discomfort, but I'm actually pushing out in front of me slightly so that the dumbbells are just above the bottom of my chest. What you want to try and imagine is that as you press up, you're not simply pushing your hands out in front of you. With the intention of pushing with your hands, you don't really get as much stimulation on the chest. When I am at the bottom of the position and I push up with my chest, I imagine that I'm actually driving up with my elbows, and at the top of the movement, I'm trying to get my elbows to touch together. I'm not going to press and bang the dumbbells. I'm going to press and try and bring and squeeze the elbows together. As I press and bring my elbows together, that's going to shorten my pec more so than just pressing with the dumbbells further apart, okay? If I bring my elbows closer together, you can see the pec gets shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. So almost like this point here is the shortest position my pec can be in. So as I press, I want to bring my elbows together. Like I said, don't bring and bang together. Push, elbows together, and then squeeze that contraction as hard as you can. If you can't squeeze the contraction, you need to figure out and learn to do that by yourself without any resistance in the first place, okay? So just stand in front of a mirror and just practice flexing, okay? Do a little bit of a titty dance if you need to do it. Just practice, squeeze, left one, squeeze, right, squeeze, both together, squeeze, push your hands together. Learn how to engage your chest and squeeze it and try and replicate it at the top of each rep. Another problem people have is the positioning of their hand in relation to their elbow. So let's say for example, starting off at the top, okay, retract your shoulders. Some people will actually come down and they'll keep the dumbbells very close to their torso. So you can see that their hands are actually well inside of their elbow. So when they press up in this fashion, what you're actually doing is stimulating a lot of tricep. So even if you keep the dumbbells pretty flat, you see the relation of my hand to my elbow. As I drive up, I'm engaging a lot of my tricep as I do that. So what you want to do is make sure that when you come down, you keep your hands directly above your elbows. So this is the position you should really be in at the bottom of the movement. You can, if you want to, push the dumbbells out slightly outside of your elbows. This is going to be a little bit more difficult, and it will work your chest. In fact, sometimes you might even work it a little bit more. Retract shoulders, come down, start to bend the elbows, stretch the chest as much as you can, drive up, bring the elbows together, little fingers together slightly, squeeze the chest as hard as you can at the top. Okay, same again, down, bend the elbows slightly, stretch the chest, maximum tension, drive up, squeeze chest at the top, okay? I'm not doing a bear hug like this, I'm not keeping the elbows bent at the top of the movement. I find it very hard to squeeze my chest as I do that, and most of the tension is going to be on my front delts. Another thing that a lot of people get wrong is just the basic press up, okay? Loads of people, when they're told to do press ups, what they do is they actually end up just pressing with their shoulders, okay? Now, if your goal is to do as many press ups as possible, you know, okay, fine, do what you want. But when I get people to do press ups, I want them to be hitting their chest, okay? The goal, in my opinion, of doing a press up is to build the chest. Hands under chest. I'm not back here, it's not below my head. Coming forward with my feet, below my chest, coming all the way down, chest to the ground. Don't push your head forward and reduce the range of motion. You want to bring your chest all the way down to the ground, stretch the chest, and then as you drive up, keep those shoulders back and squeeze your chest together as hard as you can. So you're almost trying to push your hands together with the intention of trying to get them to meet. Obviously they're not going to move because of friction, but with that intention of trying to push your hands together, it's going to help engage your chest. Okay, so a couple more, all the way down, up, squeeze the chest, okay? Down, all the way down, stretch the chest, up, keep the elbows back, squeeze the chest. So again, push chest out, keep shoulders back, drive cables down, and squeeze at the bottom. Really try and bring those elbows together. Okay, that intention of bringing your elbows together is going to help with shortening the pec even more and getting a greater contraction. Don't come down and keep those elbows bent and end up in this kind of hunched over bear hug position, because again, it's going to be all shoulders, minimal chest. Push the chest out, pull the shoulders back, and squeeze hard at the bottom. And another thing I'd say is to try and keep yourself in this pretty awkward posture, okay? So when I'm standing and I'm doing these flies, automatically pull shoulders back, pop the chest out, and I push my lower back inwards. So I'm in this pretty funky, awkward position. This is the position I maintain as I do the fly, any kind of fly, okay? If I allow myself to hunch forward, you know, push my chest inwards and bend my spine a little bit, there's no way I'm going to get any kind of decent contraction of the chest, okay? So shoulders back, chest out, push back inwards, and I'm in a strong position to go. Squeeze up, slight bend of the elbow, stretch the chest, drive forward, straighten the arm, bring elbows together, and squeeze chest hard. Okay, there's a lot to think about, and that's why you shouldn't be lifting too heavy for your own good. Now, there's another exercise which you can use effectively to target your chest, and this is dips, but you have to do them the right way, otherwise you're just going to be working more so your triceps, or you're just going to get an ineffective contraction of the chest. So what you want to bear in mind when doing this is you want to tilt your torso at a slight angle. You want to point your head down, and you want to go down into the dip to the point where your chest is stretched as much as possible. As you drive up, you want to have the intention of trying to push your hands together. Obviously they're not going to move. And whilst you're keeping your shoulders back in the process, come up to the top and squeeze your chest. Now, you're not going to need to go all the way up and lock out with your elbows. If you do that, the last portion of the movement is just going to be tricep stimulation, okay? Start off, I'm going to cross my legs, bend my knees,
tilt my torso ever so slightly, look down. I'm going to go down into the dip. Now my pec is fully stretched. I'm going to drive up by pushing my hands together, and this point here, I'm getting maximum squeeze on my chest. If I had to go any further, it'd just be tricep. Okay, come down, stretch the chest, drive up, squeeze the chest. Okay. Starting position, lean forward, down, stretch the chest, drive up, and squeeze the chest. You can see just how much my chest is engaging at the top of that movement. Stretch, squeeze. As you do these, you're going to find it quite hard to actually lean forward and maintain that position. So what I would recommend is that you get a partner, training partner, to grab your feet and to kind of hold them away from the dip station so that it's easier for your body to be at that sort of, not necessarily 45-degree angle, but so it can maintain that kind of an angle so you can directly stimulate your lower chest more. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Those are some of the top mistakes that I see on a day-to-day basis with not only all of my clients, but just going into the gym in general. People keep making the same mistakes and then wonder why they don't have a decent looking chest. So nail the basics and continue to overload the muscles and train them appropriately. Okay, so next program, or the next series I've got coming up, will be on shoulder training and the top mistakes people make when it comes to training their shoulders. So that should be coming up soon.